Well, Rick and Morty Season 3 is finally over, and we're all pretty sad about that. Then again, it's not the end of the world. Harmon and Roiland have confirmed that a Season 4 is upon us, and already fans are theorizing about what might happen in the next season. Hold on now. Before we get started, subscribe to us. You'll be joining the notification squad and get frequent updates to brand new content. Also, here's some emoji. Do you think you can tell us what movie they represent? Stay tuned to the end to find out if you were right.
You can't just f***ing apologize.
Okay, Beth. I'm sorry. You think you deserve an apology.
Beth as a Villain. Rick and Morty deals with infinite universes, and it looks like Beth finally got the keys to travel across those infinite universes. After realizing that she is more like her dad than she ever expected, she's quite likely going to be off exploring. It's not just her though, a potentially infinite number of Beths will be too. Could this mean that we'll encounter the Council of Beths? If so, could they potentially be the villains? We already know that Beth has a pretty nasty mean streak, and we can't imagine legions upon legions of Beths will be all that peaceful. We have no way of knowing for sure just yet, but we're hoping it's true.
Well, I think it's important to be clear. Raise your hand if he speaks for you.
Evil Morty is Rick's original Morty. In close Rick counters of the Rick kind, Rick has his memories read, and he has vivid memories of a baby Morty and even having a photo with baby Morty. We also know that Rick disappeared from Beth's life at quite a young age, which means that her children never met Rick until he stumbled back into their lives. So one thing is for sure, Morty is not Rick's original Morty. We also know that Evil Morty was controlling Evil Rick remotely, which means that Rick might be completely cybernetic. If this is the case, could it be that Evil Morty is actually Rick's real grandson? Just a thought.
You're inside a simulation of a simulation inside another giant simulation.
Rick is still in the simulation. In the episode M. Night Shyamalan Aliens, Rick was placed in a very advanced simulation that was able to simulate him escaping it. As a result of the simulation being as advanced as it was, Rick was seen at the end of the episode believing himself to still possibly be in the simulation.
I really appreciate you, Morty.
Okay, cool. All right, Rick.
You little son of a... Are you a simulation? Huh? Are you a simulation?
Some fans theorize that he actually is still in there, which might end up being a twist in Season 4. Dan Harmon has said that he wouldn't ever tell the fans that they were wrong because it was a cool theory. Although in doing so, he's implying that it maybe isn't true.
Okay, well, sometimes science is more art than science, Morty. A lot of people don't get that.
The original Rick is dead. We know that Beth isn't Rick's original daughter, but we do know her timeline is identical to the Beth from the first episode. This means that at some point her dad disappeared, never to be seen again. So this leaves us with the question, what happened to Rick?
I don't know what you mean by that. Can you be a little bit more specific?
Well, it could be that he's dead. If Rick died when Beth was young and she merely thought he had abandoned her, only for the Rick of the show to appear in her life years later, then we have a fairly tight explanation for what exactly has happened with Beth's family.
Please don't leave me again.
I never will, baby.
In here.
Evil Morty will be the main antagonist. Right now, Evil Morty still remains a bit of a mystery to us. Despite having tons of fan theories surrounding him, he's only appeared in 2 episodes. What we're fairly sure of, though, is that regardless of the finale this year, he will definitely be the main antagonist of the 4th season. It's clear that the show is building to something big that involves him, considering his importance has been hinted at for a few years now. It's just a matter of time, and we will get our answers.
To make a bomb, Morty, I had to create a bomb.
What? A bomb?
I'm gonna drop it down there. Get a whole fresh start, Morty. Create a whole fresh start.
That's absolutely crazy.
Come on, Morty.
The bomb. Some fans theorize that the very first scene in Rick and Morty's pilot actually took place in a different reality than the rest of the show. This is because Rick passes out before the bomb he set is defused. Some fans think that those versions of the character are dead and that at some point in Season 4 we will stumble across them or maybe the world that they come from. It would be a pretty cool twist to reveal that our introductions to the characters we know and love today were not even the people that we thought they were.
Tammy!
Phoenixperson. In the post-credit scene of the Rick Shank Rick Redemption, we learned that Birdperson had been resurrected as a cyborg by Tammy, and the Gromflamites. This was after he was tragically killed by Tammy at what should have been their wedding. Now we're wondering if he will play a role in the 4th season, possibly being conflicted by his longtime friendship with Rick Sanchez and his new programming to defeat Rick and Morty. Birdperson was a fan favorite, and it's a shame we haven't seen much of him since his untimely death. Here's hoping he makes a comeback.
What are you doing?
A sequel.
I don't understand.
Yeah, me neither. We pretty much nailed it the first time.
Rick's self-awareness. We've spoken about it before, but Dan Harmon recently confirmed in an interview that Rick is indeed aware that he is in a TV show and it's not just one-off gags.
Whoa, we'll be right back.
He compared him to Daffy Duck or Bruce Willis in Moonlight. Now that it's confirmed, we can only guess as to whether or not Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland will actually experiment with the 4th wall in Season 4. Harmon says that so far he's stopped Roiland from going all out with it, but now that may change. We could potentially see more 4th wall breaks and even playing about with the idea of it being a television show.
Hoo-wee, what a cliffhanger. Oh boy, oh my. That's a real crazy ending, huh?
Rick's tragic backstory. When a Nathan Fillion fly alien tries to get information out of Rick, Rick spins him a yarn on how he lost his family in an explosion before an alternate dimension Rick appeared and gave him his portal gun, allowing him to adventure the universe. While the story is most certainly fake, some fans theorize that it may be closer to the truth than Rick actually wants us to believe. Is it possible that Rick really did lose all of his family? It would explain his bleak nihilistic attitude and his reluctance to form any new attachments. If we find out more, it'll definitely be in Season 4. Hey, that rhymed.
Morty, what's your original reality and where's your Rick?
Gosh, we moved around so much it's hard to remember. I see every Rick as my Rick. I hope they see me as their Morty.
Evil Morty is in the opening credits. The opening credits of Rick and Morty see Rick escaping down a portal while leaving his Morty stranded. Is it possible that the Morty who is left behind is actually Evil Morty? Seeing as we're already pretty sure that Evil Morty will be involved strongly in Season 4, could he actually be looking for revenge on Rick for leaving him alone on that strange frog-infested world? After all, there must be some reason that he is specifically targeting our heroes. We know that there must be some sort of personal stake here, and right now, this is our best theory.
Well, this won't do.
Well, that's just a few of the Rick and Morty theories that we thought were interesting. Were there any that we missed that we didn't include? If so, comment below and let us know. Before we go, one last thing. If you played our emoji quiz today and answered this, then you were correct. Remember to subscribe to get more videos from our playlist, and as always, thanks for watching.